Peter Fassbender, thank you for coming and joining us again.
I am delighted. This chair almost feels like it is molded to me.
We feel like we should be saying we have to stop meeting like this, but we are meeting like this, and you have been meeting all weekend intensely. That is the word with regard to negotiations, not the stalemate that some are predicting it is.
Well, and, you know, I'm not in the actual negotiations. I'm on the end of the phone as things begin to evolve. But it was I would characterize it as a productive weekend. The mediator, our facilitator, was traveling between the two bargaining groups, and we put a comprehensive proposal on the table. BCTF had to review that. They met until midnight last night. Some people say, why didn't they meet all night? Well, there is a point where you don't make good decisions if you can't even stay awake. So suffice to say, they needed their rest as well. I'm optimistic that we made some good progress. However, you know, I'm still disappointed, as I was the last time I was here, that we're in this situation and find ourselves facing a full-scale strike, which means that schools will be disrupted, and kids and parents and teachers are going to have to deal with that.
How contentious has this become now? We've heard on both sides the idea of good faith bargaining, and there's a good lesson for students of you have conflict, there's the idea of compromise to take away from this. How contentious has this become, and is good faith bargaining even an option now given the disparity between both parties?
Well, I can tell you, and you know, I know that the public is tired of hearing one side say one thing and the other side saying something else. We've been bargaining in good faith from the get-go. We were ready in June of last year. I think I've said that to you before. We've made compromises. We moved away from the desire for a 10-year deal on this round of bargaining. We'd still like that in the future. We put a signing bonus on the table, which was different than all of the other public sector unions had done, because we recognized the teachers were out of cycle. And you know, the problem is bargaining is not lacking in complications. There's lots of issues. And you know, everybody focuses on the salary side of it, but there are benefits and other components to any agreement that make it complicated. And I'm not trying to do a spin here that says it's so complicated, but it is. It has many dimensions to it. And both parties have to come to the table wanting to get a deal.
And most of that information is embargoed, so you can't share what's going on behind closed doors. As Education Minister, though, you can share with us how much money is being saved every day that teachers are out and parents are left to have to juggle their kids, and sometimes in a very difficult financial situation. Millions of dollars are being saved on a daily basis. Where's that money going? Well,
it's $12 million a day, and you know, people have said to me, look at how much money the government's saving, and it's not about saving money. That's the last thing.
No, but it is being saved as we speak right now, so where's that money going to go?
Well, and you know, we're going to be looking at what the implications are depending on how long it is, and within our fiscal environment, there are other costs. I mean, we have administrators doing extra duty and all of those things, so I'm not going to comment about what we're going to do with that. Suffice to say, we will look at that depending on how long this goes. I can tell you that we are very sensitive, if this goes on, to the implications to families and the extra costs they have. So we're going to look at all of those things, and whatever savings we have, we will determine what is appropriate. But I can say this, the objective still is get a negotiated settlement.
And with that objective, a full-scale strike is scheduled for tomorrow. What is going to take place in the next 12 hours to avoid that from happening? Or is your gut feeling at this point students have had their last day of school in this school year?
Well, unfortunately, I think with the rotating strikes that happened last week, there was many students who felt that was their last day of school, Thursday or Friday. And that was really unfortunate. I heard stories about kids that were crying and teachers that because of the study session today, it ramped up the closure of the schools. Kids were told to take their things home, and teachers were.
It was abrupt.
Yes, it was abrupt. And I was very frustrated by that, quite honestly. But, you know, it is what it is. And the BCTF makes decisions based on what they feel. And, you know, one of the comments was, well, this will add extra pressure to the government. And I can say without any hesitation, I have felt on behalf of the government, so has the Premier, the pressure to get this done. That's why we've made the moves we have. That's why we want a negotiated settlement. And it's very difficult because I know parents, you know, they get caught in the middle of it, and so do the kids. I've got grandkids.
In the public school system?
Yes, absolutely, in the public system. They were at our house last night for Father's Day dinner, and we were talking, and, you know, the one, he's in high school, he's pretty well done. So it's not as big an implication, but still, you'd like to finish the school year on a positive note. My youngest grandson, you know, he said, Papa, you know, it's okay. I can sleep in tomorrow. But, you know, again, it's not the way you want to end the school year.
There are calls set up in the next couple hours to try and get this deal done?
They are going to be meeting again. We're going to bargain hard. I don't know what's going to happen today. If it takes the rest of this week to get it done, we would like to see a negotiated settlement by the end of the school year in the calendar.
What happens for those who might need summer school?
Well, and that is a big issue. We have said as government, if the full strike continues to the end of the school year, we will suspend our lockout notice so that summer school could go ahead. It is absolutely critical for some students to have summer school, whether they need the extra help or they need some extra credits in order to move on. So we recognize that. My message to parents is the government is more than prepared to suspend its lockout notice. BCTF has to decide whether or not they would lift their strike mandate and allow teachers to teach summer school. That's what I hope they would do, but more importantly, I hope we have a settlement before that even becomes an issue.
Always good to have you on the program. We hope to see you again soon with good news.
Exactly.
For all. Education Minister Peter Fassbender joining us this morning on Breakfast Television. We're going to take a quick break. Then Richard Detman is up with City Biz. If you had the job you're doing right now in the United States, would you make more money? Richard addresses that next. Stay tuned.